What's up, guys? Welcome to another video. I am the Poetic Healer, and in today's video, we're going to be reading the poem Day by Day. So, you know the drill. We're going to read it, analyze the poem, and get the deeper meaning. Let's get to it. Every day is an expression of magical experiences. Some things are subtle, it's not always about the appearances. No need for hesitation when you desire a certain outcome. The point of difficult situations is that you're meant to solve them. When you find gratitude in each aspect, you dwell in heaven. Allow all situations to be your building block. Obtain wisdom from all your lessons. When you allow all, renew your mind and allow the flow of life to dwell within. Life is meant to be played in a harmonic manner, like a violin. Only the strong-hearted and sound-minded can outlast all woes. When going through this interesting life, always stay 10 toes. And that is day by day. And now it says, every day is an expression of magical experiences. Some things are subtle. It's not always about the appearances. So that's talking about the subtle things, the unseen things. You know what I'm saying? Just like your mind is the unseen till you bring it out into reality and people know what you're talking about. But if you keep something within your mind, no one's going to know what it is till you express it, right? So it's the same thing. So there are things that are physically seen and there are things that are not physically seen. And your attributes and your characteristics are the things that are seen, right? But it's you internally that has these, it's you, the internal source, that is the unseen. And once you start bringing these things out, you start creating resources for yourself. You know what I'm saying? So you start off with the source being yourself, and then once you have your attributes and your characteristics, you bring these things out, and now you can create resources for yourself. So it's all about tapping into the unseen, aka tapping into yourself. And the more you tap into yourself, tap into your subconscious mind, the more you can actually bring things into the consciousness and bring things into the physical, or bring things into the light that is actually more tangible and more conducive for you. And then it says, no need for hesitation when you desire a certain outcome. The point of difficult situations is that you're meant to solve them. So when you desire a certain outcome, you have to be in the current. You have to focus, find what you want to do, and be consistent in that. And once you start being consistent, that's when things will come in. But the more you're hesitant, the more things are going to delay, and you're missing out on your opportunities. So it's very important that you're you're in tune. And once you are aware of this, because sometimes you're not aware. But once you become aware, you know that you're consistent and you're solid in what you want to materialize. And then it says, when you find gratitude in each aspect, you dwell in heaven. The point of difficult situations is that you're meant to solve them. So it's very important that sorry, no, it says when you find your gratitude in each aspect, you dwell in heaven. Allow all situations to be a building block. Obtain wisdom from all your lessons. So when you find gratitude in each aspect, aka finding gratitude in your experiences, even if it's not where you want to be currently, but as long as you have the gratitude and you're willing to strive for what you want to strive for, eventually you'll get there. But the more you focus on the negative parts, or the more you focus on the things that are outweighing you or aren't in your favor, that's when those things are going to actually take hold of your consciousness. So you have to be very careful of what you're giving life to internally, because that can eventually become your home and become familiar, aka your family, but it's just what is familiar to you mentally. You know what I'm saying? So it's very important to know that. And then it says, allow all situations to be a building block. Obtain wisdom from all your lessons. So the more you obtain wisdom from your lessons, even the ones that, like I said, was not favorable to you, the more you get wisdom from them. The more you actually learn from them. You actually get more wisdom and learning from the experiences that wasn't favorable to you. So you should embrace these type of things, because if you can learn from them instead of dwelling on it. Now, it's very important that you acknowledge that you're going through whatever you're going through, whether it's pain or grief or sorrow, and actually let that emotion, actually feel the emotions, you know what I mean, instead of running away from it. And the more you feel it, eventually it will go and it will leave you. But the more you try to run away from it, it will be like a cycle. You're always going to come back and face it. So it's very important to dwell with these type of things, so it can eventually leave you, and you can actually be more spaced out for something new that you can bring within yourself. And then it says, renew your mind and allow the flow of life to dwell within. Life is meant to be played in a harmonic manner, like a violin. So the more you renew your mind, just like the moon cycle, you're using the cycle of the moon. When it starts off with the crescent, starts off new, then it wax, and then prepares to get full, and then it releases again. Just like that, the more you practice the cycle of things, the more you can be more whole. Instead of being fixated and being lost in one specific way. Now, it's very important if you do want to materialize, that's when it's time to be fixated. Okay, so now there's time for everything. There's time to be phased out, and then there's time to be fixated. So it's all up to you as the observer to know when you need to be fixated on what you're doing and when you need to be phased and use the different cycles of things. So that's just up to you. And we all have our own personal experiences in that situation. And then it says, only the strong hearted and sound minded can outlast all woes. When going through this interesting life, always stay 10 toes. So it's all about having a strong heart because the more you go through difficult situations, you have to be strong internally. You have to be resistant internally if you want to embrace more situations that's going to actually make you more wiser. The more wiser you are, the more difficult situations you're going to go through because life isn't meant to be easy when you're going through things that are very grand intellectually. So you have to know that. So the more you have a strong heart and you're sound minded, aka you're not polarized, you're sound minded, you know when to utilize things at its will, and that's when things will make sense for you and you can outlast all difficult situations. Anything that is set up against you, the more you're sound minded, the more you have time to actually think and ponder on things. So it's very important that you have a strong heart and you're sound minded. And the more you're sound minded, the more wisdom you gain from that. And then it says, when going through this interesting life, always stay 10 toes. So 10 toes is just an allegory of being grounded in whatever you're doing. So when you do have that vision that you want to create and you want to bring into reality, like I said, now is the time to use the energy of fixation. That is when you want to fixate on that vision and bring it into reality. Just like if you have a child, you want to have a child physically, right? You want to, let's say if you want to have a boy at a certain time, you want to be fixated on that energy, and then that's when you can actually have that child. You know what I mean? If you don't have the mental thought of, okay, I want to have a child, then you will never have a child. If you don't have the mental thought of, okay, I want to start this business or I want to start this fitness thing that I want to do and take care of it, it won't happen. So you physically start being fixated on it. So there's time to use those energies. It's just up to you when you're going through your own aspect in life. So yeah, guys, that is day by day. That is the point for today's video. So day by day, each day routine. The more you work on yourself, the more you work on your habits and your routine and patterns and things like that, the more things will come into fruition for you and will be more fixated and more conducive and condensed that you can actually experience now instead of something that's just a figment of your imagination. So you want to start off from the internal realm, the subconscious realm, into the consciousness. So bringing it from the darkness into the light, into something physical that can be tangible, and for you can actually experience the fruits of your labor. So, yeah, guys, that's the point for today. Hope you guys gained something new. And until next time, guys, I'll catch you soon.